I'm Richard Randall, and welcome back to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker, host of the program. And this is the weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate with Barb Schlinker, the owner broker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Now, Barb, one of the biggest challenges for home sellers is that classic real estate catch 22, having a house to sell before they buy their next home. How do homeowners that need to sell their house to buy the next house have certainty that their house will in fact sell when they want it to, and then they can move on to the other home instead of being in a hotel or living with somebody for weeks or months?
Well, Richard, I hate to break it to everybody, but the truth is they don't get certainty with the traditional sales process. They just don't. There's so many opportunities for the buyer to bail out. I just had a townhome finally sell after 3 or 4 different contracts failing. One buyer bailed out because whatever I think they got um, picked up by ICE. Another another buyer bailed out because he just changed his mind. He didn't tell us why. The third buyer went all the way through inspection, appraisal, almost ready to close. And all of a sudden, the lender decided the HOA didn't have enough insurance. That deal blew up. And finally, the sellers reduced the price substantially. And boom, we got a cash buyer and it finally sold. But there isn't a lot of certainty with the traditional sales process. And so people don't understand that. In their thought process, it's like, okay, I'm going to put my house on the market and it's going to sell, right? Everything's going to be fine. But at the end of the day, I have seen buyers walk from the table right before closing. And if we didn't protect the seller's earnest money for having their house off the market for a whole month plus, then they would have been left halfway moved out of their house with nothing. And I see that happen all the time. The way the state of Colorado has set up the contracts, the buyer could walk away at the closing table after you moved out. And if the agent doesn't protect you, guess what? You're stuck. You got to start all over and get a new buyer. So there isn't a whole lot of certainty in the process. What we sell is not fun most of the time. However, if you do it right, then the buyer is so engaged, so motivated to play the game. And sometimes you don't know who's running interference. Like I just finished negotiating with this one agent who is a legend in her own brain. She sent me probably a dozen different documents. She wasted all these contractors' time getting all these bids for repairs, and we want this and we want that. Oh no, we don't want 200,000. We want 30,000, you know. And so we're back and forth. So the seller gave her a logical answer. So, all right, we'll do these items. You know, reasonable, broken stuff we'll take care of. That's it. And the answer was, well, perhaps there's some confusion. You're confused about what we're asking for. I'm like, no, we can read. We're not confused. And it was this close to blowing up. And then I noticed that she finally asked her buyer. So I think she was involved with trying to get stuff. And that's what a lot of real estate agents think is their currency. That's the value they think that they bring to their buyers, is to get stuff, get concessions, get repairs, get money from the seller. That is their measurement of success. And sometimes they do it at such an extreme level, it causes them to potentially lose the contract, because the sellers get to a point where, hey, we've had enough. If you walk away, we'll get another buyer. Bye-bye. And that's almost what happened on this deal. It's almost what happened on one of my colleagues' deal. Sometimes the agents can create crazy town for no reason. So it's another thing that causes uncertainty. But what if you didn't have to deal with that? What if you just sold to a cash buyer? I've got one that's selling this week where the buyer came in. Here's our number. It's going to be cash. At closing, there's no loan. There's no appraisal. The inspection is, we're going to come and look at it. Okay, looks good. And by the way, at closing, leave whatever you don't want. So you don't even, that seller doesn't even have to move all their trash out of there. That is some certainty. And that's really wonderful. And it works when you price the home properly. It works a lot with the cash offer programs as well. So what is the problem? If a home seller wants to make a move, right? They need their equity to buy their next home, but it's tied up in this kind of what they call dead equity. In other words, they don't get their hands on the money until their house sells, right? But there are other solutions. There are these buy before you sell programs. We have 8 different types of programs that we use in which the seller can tap into their equity in different ways without selling their current home, without going in and making an offer contingent on their home maybe selling with the normal uncertain process, and without a bridge loan. And sometimes that whole process of doing the traditional sale thing really keeps people stuck. It prevents them from making their next move. The traditional agent says, don't worry, we'll either make an offer contingent on our home selling that's not even on the market yet. And I don't know where I'm going to price it, but it does have granite in there on the counters. I actually got that answer once, Richard. I asked her, where are you going to price that home? She goes, well, I don't know, but it has granite. Like, oh boy. She went on to price that home $125,000 over market value. I couldn't believe it. So, or they'll say, wait till you get your house under contract. So that's a little more certainty, right? You've accepted a contract. Now your buyer has to go through inspection, appraisal, and loan approval, right? So that's that problem. And then you have to go through inspection, appraisal, and loan approval. So there's still a lot of roadblocks in that process. But we have some other things, like a lot of home sellers worry very much about what's going to be my destination. Like people typically will not make a move if their destination is uncertain. So the moment they think about putting their house on the market, I watch them. They start looking for homes. They're already shopping. They've already picked out their next home, right? Before their home is even sold. And then they're looking to me like, hurry up. We got to get this done, And I'm like, I'm going as fast as I can, but I need some help with you in pricing it so the market believes in paying that price in the traditional process. But there are different programs that we offer in which we can make that happen without a sale contingency and without worrying about all the landmines that you have to worry about. One example would be to pull your equity out without getting a loan. We also have 6 different buy before you sell programs where our lenders will come in and buy your next home for cash, and you don't have to make a payment for a couple of months. And then you can take your time selling your current home. That's awesome. So we'll go into a little bit of detail in the next little segment about the buy before you sell programs. My name is Barb Schlinker. I'm the broker owner of Your Home Sold Guarantee Realty and the host of this show, Your Real Estate Voice. And we're talking about how do you overcome the uncertainty of the normal home sales process. And next up, we're going to cover some great ways that you can get multiple cash offers as well as our buy before you sell programs. Richard?
Barb, what are some more ways that home sellers can manage moving from one home to another without showings, without stress, and getting their old home sold on their very own timeline?
Well, Richard, I have quite a few home sellers that decide, hey, I'm not going to deal with that crazy town process that most people put themselves through. I just want a cash offer. I want the easy button. I want the done deal. Did you know that 30% of home sellers are opting for cash offers without going on the open market now? Did you realize it was that much?
30%?
Yeah.
No. I mean, we've been talking about it for a year or two now, and you are the queen of cash offers, but I had no idea the percentage was that high.
Yeah, I had one client I met with recently that said, we're not doing that. We want a cash offer. I said, you got it. We'll make it happen. But it's really a nice system because you can avoid showings. You don't have to worry about open houses. You don't have to worry about strangers walking through your house. You don't have to worry about the buyer uncertainty of changing their mind over inspection, appraisal, loan approval, all that stuff. You only have to worry about the cash offer comes in. They will do an inspection. There might be a little bit more negotiations on inspection, which is normal. But other than that, they do what they say they're going to do. And I've already got experience of these cash offers going all the way through the process that they promised. Now, some of our cash buyers will pay full market value, even slightly over market value, because they think, hey, if we improve the house according to where we think it will sell, we think it will sell for more. So we'll offer you this much money, we'll hold back a little bit of equity, and then when we resell it, you will get that holdback money back plus any upside if it sells for more. And a lot of times remodeled homes will sell for more. We also have some fabulous buy before you sell programs. Two lenders will let you go pick your next house. They will pay cash for it up to $2 million and then give you time to sell your current home without bridge financing and without a sale contingency. You are responsible for rent on the new home, but the rent payments don't start for a while. So it gives you that head start to get your house on the market and get it sold the right way. We also have our various guaranteed sale programs where you get an offer up front. We guarantee your buyer's home. So let's say your buyer has a house to sell. Most agents present their offers that way. Say, oh, we love your house, but we have a house to sell. Will you reserve your home for me and wait for me to sell my home? And oh, by the way, it is or isn't on the market and we don't know when it's going to sell. Most sellers don't want to eat that uncertainty. So what happens is that those offers get rejected, or some sellers take the risk, take their house off the market because the MLS rules require that we tell the world it's not available, even though it really technically is. And other buyers pass it by. So if you want solutions, call us because we offer all kinds of solutions. My name is Barb Schlinker. I'm the broker owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty and the host of this show, Your Real Estate Voice. Give us a call, 719-301-3900. We'll come out and show you our offers, give you an idea on all the options, cash offers, buy before you sell, or the traditional market process, and you can choose what's best for you. Our website, barbhasthebuyers.com, or call us at 719-301-3900. Richard?
Barb, you and your team are the only company I ever recommend to people out there who are thinking of selling their homes and downsizing to a smaller home. How can people get more information?
Well, go to barbhasthebuyers.com. There's a little green button that says cash offers. You can get your cash offers today. It'll go directly to that website and spit out some offers for you. And then give us a call after that, and we can go over the detail and present them and give you the detail in person. Richard?
And I want to be clear, Barb, a cash offer still gets the guarantee.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They do what they say they're going to do.
You're listening to Your Real Estate Voice. That's Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, host of the program. And if you are thinking of making a move, call Barb at 719-301-3900 or visit barbhasthebuyers.com. When we come back, we'll be discussing top 5 sellers' mistakes that repel buyers from buying your home, plus Barb's hot new listings. You don't want to miss any.